Some dreams are big. Some dreams are small. Some dream to go from place to place. Dreams of love and ever after. Dreams and sacrifices that builds the future. Whatever the dream or step or journey, you can do more with a partner that cares about your dreams. Access, more than banking.
Welcome back. Please join me in welcoming our friend, our partner, Aruna Kebira. Aruna Kebira is the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, Global View Capital Limited. Aruna, you are welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You are looking very fresh.
Thank you very much.
So what's happening in the market? Let's start that way.
You can discover that.
Are you making money? Are you losing money? Are you just there in between?
My portfolio is making money.
What about you?
When I say my portfolio, myself and portfolio are one and the same.
When you say your portfolio, I thought the one you are managing for your company.
You know, most of the times what I have in my personal portfolio is what I also have in the company portfolio. So I just replicate it in my own.
You see how good it is to be a broker. All right. Mr. Ajadi actually told us a little about it last week, and we're believing that we'll even still speak with the current registrar and chief executive of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. All right. We'll continue to promote the capital market because that is what we are noted for anyway. Our name is StocksWatch Aruna. Let's take off this today by looking at the announcement in the course of last week by the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission that unclaimed dividends is now in the region of 170 billion naira. Number one, let us analyze this. We explain this so that the cameraman, so that or let me say the cameramen, so that the audio people that are not so vast, people that, but one way or the other, they've heard about the stock market. Unclaimed dividend, what is it all about?
Well, let me start by saying that for every company, we will necessarily have a registrar that will be responsible for the registrar services on behalf of that company. So when there is a declaration of dividend, that quantum of dividend is moved from the company. To the registrar. And we understand when dividend were in warrants, one of the problems that was happening then is either late post or change of address. And
or even wrong address.
Or wrong address. And sometimes maybe the amount, the quantum of what is written on the dividend warrant, and even sometimes knowledge, because a number of people will just get the letter, the envelope, they don't bother to open it. They just dump it somewhere. And as far as they don't present this warrant to the bank for claim, they still continue to remain with the registrar. And a situation where some even want to take steps to reclaim it, probably they will, it was 6 months lifetime, maybe they are still. And some of them will look at, one, the rigor of going for a validation. Two, they may believe that the cost of going for a validation is more than what the face value of the dividend warrant. So they will go and sit down. But what they don't understand is that we have like 3 million, 4 million people with that little amount, and you know what is going to amount to. So, and when that is not claimed from the registrar, the money still remains with the registrar, at least up to when it is status bad. That's anything that is 12 years and above becomes status bad. I think that they can return back to the company that first of all move the money to their position so that they can disburse to investors.
So now this 170 billion, apparently it's not as if it is settled in just one account.
No,
Apparently
it's
it is the amount.
in various registrar accounts.
Yes, I know that after a couple of years, the registrar also returned the money back to the company that paid
When
it.
it is status bar, because for dividend that is about 11 years ago, if you are able to prove that you are the owner of the dividend, the registrar will be bound to pay you. So they won't return that to the issuer first until when it is status bar. That is, you can't claim it.
So it is very likely that there are some people that are potentially millionaires, but they definitely do not know that their 5 naira, 10 naira, 20 naira, 200 naira must have accumulated, and it is part of this 170.
Let me just, it's not a PR anyway, but myself and my team at Global View Capital Limited, we have a product that we call wet tracking. We help you to recover your losses, especially dividend. A number of people have been surprised how much that they have there. Because one, if the registrar send you for 1 year and it is returned, they send you a dividend warrant for 1 year is returned, they send you the second year is returned, they will just be accumulating it. There's a number of people never really understand how much they have until we help them.
I don't know, I would have asked you the process of recovery, but since your company has a product, please, peradventure, particularly for those whose parents used to invest heavily in stocks when they were alive, and now your parents had passed. Or maybe during the heydays of the stock market, a friend, a family member, a church member, an association member, your old schoolmate, or anybody pushed you to buy one stock or the other, and you just decided because the market crashed, you push it somewhere and you are not bothered about what is happening. So I'm not going to be asking Aruna the process of recovering or claiming these outstanding dividends. They say 170 billion. And you know, people keep saying that things are difficult in Nigeria, money is scarce, but it might be just funny for you to know that you've got a lot of money hidden among this 170 billion. I will please suggest that you make a call to Aruna. Well, he said it is not PR. Well, he takes his time to come here. It cost him something. So his coming here is, there must have been other things he could be doing, he should be doing, but he has chosen to come. So why not? I'm going to please get his number, call him. Let's even start something. It might be 5,000 naira, it might be 200,000 naira, it might be any amount. But again, make sure that subsequently, whatsoever, as a matter of fact, with the process now, there's not going to be issuance of warrant anymore. So you have to now strategize to ensure that your dividends come to you as expected. Now we go to the issue of the clarification by the Debt Management Office on the loans with the World Bank. They say the profile of Nigeria's debt is standing at $11.7 billion. I didn't say it with all. What's the implication?
I think what the judge classifies that part of the debt is taken under IDA, International Development Association.
Sure.
I think well, if you look at it, according to their terms, is that it is 0.75%. It can be given between 13 and 40 years. And I also understand that even at expiration, they can give you like another 7 to 10 years to pay the principal. But the question remains, the interest is low, but the question is that you are still going to pay back.
Whether 40 years.
Whether 40 years or 50 years, you are still going to pay back.
As at that time, maybe your gray hair will have been more pronounced than that.
If my teeth will still be standing in my mouth.
That means the country is already owing debt for our children yet or more.
Yes, that is just that.
What's the implication of that on the future of this country?
They now depend, do we can we make, the other day we were saying that, can we make enough money to run the country without borrowing more? Then if we can, then that means that we just focus on the repayment of this. But if we continue to heap on it, then there is a
But
problem.
one thing I know about borrowing is that those that are the lenders will not bother to borrow you money if they know that you do not have the capacity to
Did
pay.
you hear that? You know, last week we heard that the IMF has given us another SD, a special drawing right, to up what we can take.
that means they are confident that,
That we
this
can
is a
pay.
rich country.
Yes.
That no matter what the risk they take with us, we've got the capacity to meet up with the obligations at the appropriate time, right?
So is their thinking.
Okay, so it is. I believe that those guys are experts. Let's leave that. The national statisticians is saying that Nigeria generated 512.25 billion as value-added tax in Q2 of 2021. That the country also generated 427.07 billion naira as company tax. All right. Now it means that the companies that are listed on the floor of the NGX and some other companies anyway, because the company they are talking about here are not restricted to those that are, but basically there are not too many viable companies in this country that are not listed. All right. So it means that the companies are actually
Yes, of course. And not just that they are performing. There's compliance. They are paying up. Because if they don't pay up, they will not have the talking.
Then why, if they are doing well, why is it a high unemployment rate in Nigeria? That means they are not really employing.
If we are trying to link it to unemployment, I believe this they are doing well. We are talking about that they are operating at their full capacity. So which means that the number of employees that they need to run at this level, is already on board.
All right, another borrowing here. Federal government announces 150 billion August bonds. Number one, we've done it before, but for the sake of those who were not connected, then let's just do a little bit of exposition on bonds. How profitable? What is bond?
Yeah, a bond is a fixed income instrument that represents a loan made by an investor to a borrower. It's just like an IOU, but that shows the terms of the contract. What a bond holder is supposed to be entitled to is coupon. They call it coupon when they say 50%, 2035, which means the tenor. If you buy it to a bond to 2021 and it's 2035 bond, that means that you are going. If you hold it to maturity at 2035, the last quarter of 2035, you are going to get the value, face value, of what you are paying plus the last coupon. Coupon is what they pay you, interest rate they pay you every 6 months, and you can trade bond in the secondary market. You can hold when you take position in a bond. You can either stay to maturity. That stay to maturity is that you hold it and you begin to get that 13.5% every 6 months until maturity. Like I said, you will get the face value of the bond plus the last coupon. But to buy in the secondary market and the primary market, why it's a little difficult, you can only buy in tickets, and one ticket is 100 million. So sometimes you have to do with a number of people coming together to buy one ticket. And if you buy a ticket, then you can either exit whenever you want to, because it's your decision to make. But if myself and you and one other guy combine to buy a ticket, if I want to sell, you might not want to sell. And if the other guy want to sell, two of us might not want to sell. So I think it's because of that bulk. That is why to buy bond in the primary market is a little bit upside for the retail investors. But you can actually buy in the secondary market.
And now, Aruna, what is even the essence of investing in bonds? More so, I mean, in a country where inflation is not checked, like Nigeria, we see double-digit inflation. So as at the time you will be getting the full value of your bonds back, would inflation not have eroded the value of the money? Why not stock? Why are we talking about?
You know, I think one of the reasoning is that 2035 is still very far from here. We have experienced a number of change of government. Chances are that things will have worked better, and we see inflation under 2 digits, and maybe exchange rate will now
in Nigeria
can come down as
Don't
low
worry.
as 190 to.
The way to know what will happen most probably in another 10 years is to look at 10 years previous.
Another thing again is that, I think we briefly talked about it last time, that when government begin to come to the market, they will crowd out the private sector. So it is this borrowing that set the pace. And the more the bond market is bullish, it has a negative effect on the equities market.
Okay.
But that is circular flow of income, the same income that is moving from capital market to bond market to money market.
But when the bond market is active, equity market definitely cannot be active. It is most unlikely that the two markets will remain equally active at the same level at the same time. But again, we'll still find time to talk more about bonds. The little we've been able to touch on today, I think, is a little bit of guide. We will also continue to build on it. Let's go now to the equities market. Last week, All-Share Index was up 1.83%. Market capitalization was up 1.83%. Volume of trades grew by 62.69%, but deals was down, whereas value moved up by 53.81%. So what are the factors that precipitated the kind of performance we saw last week?
I think we see the big ones see performing in the market, especially the telecom sector. We saw Airtel from 615 up to over 700. I can see MTN, and whenever this happens, they have the value. You can see that there is a drop in it, but the value is increased, and it will touch the ASI positively.
All right. But what are the possibilities for this week?
If you check the pattern with which the market is operating, a number of people have actually sat down and have looked at performances for Q2, and they are aligned their portfolio, rejigging their portfolio in line with what the performances of Q2 is all about, especially when we are expecting, for those that pay interim, I think by the time we begin to see the gainers you see the effect of interim, especially those that have not actually been paying interim. So I think that then there will this idea that the traditional interim dividend payer that we know, especially the banks, this is the third week, and I think we begin to see their result and the marketplace.
All right, we now could go to the gainers now. We can see Honeywell. It moved 28.13% in 1 week. That's why I will always talk about the stock market, the intrigues. Sometimes you see one equity making such huge gain of 28% in 1 week without you carrying. That does not mean that the stock cannot lose 15% the following week, and then like that. I don't know how to say it in English, but if you permit me to say it in Yoruba, it is commonly said, and I learned this from my Yoruba teacher while in the primary school, Ninu Ofi, Ninu Ola, Lomopando Rongbe. That is to say, life is all about going forth and back. And so, you are tall and you are not actually a kid. But if you look at your experiences, how you got in here, the days of successes, the days of not too much of records of successes and things like that. So that is and I keep saying that if you can understand life, you should be able to understand the stock market, because basically that is the way it is. Now, for Honeywell, what do you think was the factor behind it?
When the issue of First Bank and CBN came, the first thing that hit our mind was the impact of First Bank and on Honeywell. And there was a deal during the week, and it is believed, what we normally, what the market normally think is that if has had this particular time somebody is taking position in a company at this amount, even if it is off the market, that means that there is vote of confidence from that investor in the company. I think about 372 million was done during the week, and one of what the market normally do is to go and queue behind, because they know that something big is about to happen to that stock.
Something big. And what I'm seeing here, looking at the MACD, it is actually very bullish. And but looking at some other indicators, the stochastics, as I'm seeing here, if it moves one more day, it might be arriving at the overbought level. But for the Williams percentage and MFI, they're just at the level where they're saying.
Do you know why I'm saying it? Because the information that is expected in the market has not arrived. You know, that movement shows that, you know, the market is information.
In other words,
driven.
what is your recommendation?
The question is that even as of Friday, it was not available. So whether it will be available tomorrow, I wouldn't know. You know, one of the disadvantage for those that are trading through the OMS is between 9:30 and 10, they cannot enter the market until when the market fully open by 10 o'clock, and those that can enter the market before, they will have taken position for stocks.
But do you know that this equity is selling now at 2 naira 5 kobo? Do you know that sometimes around May, this equity was actually selling at around 1 naira 17 kobo?
I think there was a time we talked about it. We said it was just the market, that it was playing a band then within a band, that when it get to this band, it will come back and rise up. I think the information that is expected is what is driving it.
As a matter of fact, up until August 3rd, I can still see it at around 1 naira 50 kobo, 1 naira 60 kobo, before it just jumped. Bam! This stock market can be very surprising sometimes.
You know, you know, when clients approach me and said, I want to make money and work, and I'll just tell them that just cool down. There is always opportunity in this market every day. Just be information savvy. Make sure that you get to, you know, align yourself with the information that's coming into the market.
Now, let's leave NNFM and Honeywell flour, because they represent the same industry. Is it that there's something cooking in that industry?
No, NNFM, they pay interim dividend, I think 15 kobo.
All right. But I cannot see cuties there. Is it that it is tired? There are 1-for-1 bonus. Is it that people are no longer interested?
No, you see, we have always said that when you want to take picture and you pose and the cameraman is not forthcoming, what do? You will lose your pose and wait for when you want to come. They are qualified this November, and this is just August.
So there will be a lot of selling, and then
people that have
purchase.
Bought below by 2 naira 10 kobo, and they will have been cashing out by now at 5 naira over 5 naira.
As a matter of fact, QTs was one of the highest percentage gainers last week. It lost 11.50%. So people are just cashing out.
Yeah, there's profit taking.
How low do you think it will come before it could become attractive again for purchase?
It can go back to 2 naira 10. Remember, it has a 1-for-1 with it, so which means at the day of qualification is going to be divided by 2.
But all the indicators are actually looking down, because again, here, as at the time the price got to around that 5 naira 65 kobo, the indicators are actually saying that it was at an overbought level, right? And between then and now, it has not looked backward, and it is still trending down. I think because of the outstanding 1-for-1 bonus.
Yes.
I think what we should just do is to keep our eyes on it. As it is trending down, we just
come
keep
below
following.
5 naira. Because you look at it, if you can get it at 5 naira, that means you actually buy one unit for 250.
But Aruna, I could see Regency, I could see Cheap PLC, I could see Veritas, I could see Mutual Benefit on the losers chart for last week. Is it that, yet all of them, if you look at Regency, for example, the price closed at 42 kobo, Cheap PLC closed at 53 kobo, Veritas closed at 22 kobo, Mutual Benefit 34 kobo. These equities are far below 50 kobo except for Cheap PLC, and yet they are losing.
I think one of
When do you think we'll begin to see insurance equities at 1 naira, 1.50 kobo?
it is one, the information they release to the market, the quality of their earnings, and also their dividends. You know, they have a bogus outstanding. I think that is one of the problem they have. What we see for this insurance is that why you see that they quickly either appear on the top gainer chart or top loser chart is that it takes 2 kobo to get 10%. By the time you move 2 kobo, that is 10%. By the time you lose 2 kobo, that is 10%. So if you lose 4 kobo within it, that is 20%. So it must come on the top.
So what should our strategy be investing in insurance equity?
I think
Because they are cheap.
Yeah, they are cheap, but you do rather buy an equity that will not be able to actually want to make a profit from. But one of the people that I say that are actually into it is those that speculators that will buy at 20 kobo, sell at 26 kobo, and come back and buy at 20 kobo, like that.
Aruna, I think we've had a very long and a good conversation. I've got to let you go. I want to say a very big thank you to you for being part of the production, this presentation today. But don't forget that he was talking about how it could be of assistance in case you want to get your unclaimed dividend. Please do not hesitate to call Aruna on the numbers that will be displayed on the screen. Thank you so much once again, Aruna, for coming.
First Money is Nigeria's biggest and most preferred agent banking network. Thanks to First Money, millions of people are living their dreams. Meet some First Money agents who are driving this.
One Kesu Kireke from First Bank introduced me to First Money. I forgot searching for jobs.
Ya taimaki mutane sosai wurin matsowa kusa da yanayin banki. Da sai sun tafiya mai nisa kamin su je su samu banki.
Through First Money, over 1 million people across Nigeria have their financial services needs met daily. In all the accessible local government areas, you're bound to find First Money agents. With First Money, we're bringing financial inclusion and the many benefits that come with it. You first. First Bank.